Drive past any RV storage lot and you'll see them behind the chain link, coaches under sun-bleached tarps, cracked decals, dealer stickers still on the windshields. Most are 2-3 years old, barely used, sold by couples who thought this was the dream. I've crawled under enough of these to know exactly why they're sitting here. Every single one was a mistake somebody could have caught in 10 minutes. Nobody did. People spent retirement savings on a floor plan and lost it to a roof seam. So here are the 10 that cost people the most, starting with the one that looks harmless. Before we start, drop the RV you're shopping right now in the comments, because some of these mistakes hide behind good-looking names. Number 10. Buying the floor plan instead of the construction. A retired postal carrier, 34 years on the same route in western Pennsylvania, drove 3 hours to a dealer because one specific rear living layout matched the measurements he'd taped out on his garage floor. He loved it. Open living, residential furniture, the showroom lights making everything glow. He was ready to sign on the layout alone. The secret is not in the furniture, it's underneath it. I put my hand on the sidewall near the slide and felt it give that soft sponginess that means the laminated wall is starting to separate. Delamination. Water gets between the layers, the glue lets go, and the wall bubbles. You cannot see it from inside admiring the couch. Here's the math that matters. That trailer was a $2,000 deal over a competitor. One delaminated wall repair runs $3,000 to $8,000, sometimes more, and it spreads, so the deal was never a deal. The layout you fall in love with is the one thing that never breaks. The wall behind it is what bankrupts you. The drawback of shopping this way is real. Better built trailers often feel tighter and less airy for the same money, and some buyers hate that. If you'll pay for a moisture meter inspection first, buy the laminated rig with confidence. If you're buying on layout alone with nobody checking the walls, walk away. You're marrying the walls, not the couch. If a pretty floor plan ever hid an ugly repair bill from you, put the model below. Somebody shopping right now needs that warning. But the next mistake costs more, and people make it while thinking they're being careful. Number 9. Trusting the dealer walkthrough instead of a moisture meter. A schoolteacher couple from Missouri, both retiring the same June, told me proudly they'd gone over it for a full hour. Every cabinet opened, every appliance tested, a friendly salesman walking them through a clean, used Class C. They felt thorough. This is where the brochure gets quiet. A walkthrough checks everything except the only thing that will hurt you, because water intrusion hides above the headliner and behind the trim where your eyes never go. I ran a $30 moisture meter along the roofline and it lit up over the cab over bunk. Wet. That's the classic Class C failure point, right where the front cap meets the roof. Do the math on that. A $30 tool against a soft floor or rotted framing repair that runs $8,000–9,000 and climbs, because once the wood core is wet, the rot compounds and the structural framing goes next. A moisture meter can false flag on a metal backer, so you read it with judgment, not panic. If you bring a meter or a third-party inspector, you're protected. If you let the seller run the inspection, you're the mark. A walkthrough sells the RV. A moisture meter buys it. The next one isn't about what you can't see, it's about a number printed right on the door that people ignore anyway. Number 8. Ignoring the payload sticker. A former long-haul trucker, a man who knew trucks cold, came in certain he had this figured out. Half-ton pickup he loved, an F-150, and a half-ton towable travel trailer the dealer matched right to it. The tow rating on the truck said it would pull the trailer's dry weight with room to spare. He wasn't wrong about the tow number. He was looking at the wrong number. This is the ugly little math buyers miss. Tow rating isn't your limit, payload and tongue weight are. I pointed him at the yellow cargo carrying capacity sticker inside the trailer, a few £100 of real capacity. Now subtract. Fresh water is roughly 8 pounds a gallon, so 40 gallons is over 300 pounds. Add propane, batteries, gear, food, the generator. He was negative before he packed a single shirt. Overload the axles and you get blown tires, sway in a crosswind, and avoided warranty when something breaks. The rig is legal, empty, and illegal the moment you load your life into it. The drawback of doing this right is that a properly rated setup usually means a bigger, thirstier tow vehicle, and nobody enjoys that truck payment. If you'll weigh the loaded rig at a CAT scale, you'll sleep fine. If you're matching tow rating to sticker weight and calling it done, stop. The tow rating is marketing. The payload sticker is the law. Next is the mistake that turns a great price into a bill before you even leave the lot. Number 7. Believing the discount when the tires are already dead. A retired nurse who'd sold her house in Ohio wanted one clean coat she could manage alone. A gleaming used gas, Class A, with a big red discount sticker, low mileage, showroom shine, $10,000 off. She was glowing. The dealer kept pointing at the low miles. I walked to the tire and read the .date code stamped in the sidewall, 7 years old. This is the line item that saves people. RV tires age out before they wear out because these rigs sit. The rubber cracks from time and sun, not tread wear, and low mileage actually works against you. It means the same old tires have been baking for years. Industry guidance is to replace RV tires around 5 to 7 years, regardless of how good the tread looks. So run it. 10 grand off minus roughly 2,500 for a full set of Class A tires, minus the deferred service nobody mentioned, and the discount was already spent before she drove away. Worse, an aged tire doesn't wear out politely, it blows, and a front blowout on a heavy coach takes fenders, wiring, and sidewall with it. The drawback here is that even a genuinely good rig needs a tire budget nobody advertises, so you plan for it. If you price tires and service into the offer, buy smart. If you're hypnotized by the sticker, you'll pay twice. If the tires are 7 years old, that discount isn't real yet. But the next mistake isn't about tires or walls. It's about chasing a badge that costs thousands more for the exact same machine. Number 6, paying for the premium trim that shares the cheaper trim's guts. A retired plant foreman, 28 years running a factory floor, walked in wanting the nicer one. He'd been comparing two Jayco Class Cs, the Red Hawk and the step-up Greyhawk, and the Greyhawk had him. Better cabinets, upgraded graphics, the bigger TV, the higher price that just feels like a better rig. That is where the pretty coach starts losing. Both of those coaches roll on the same Ford E450 chassis with the same 3-liter V8 doing the actual work. The drivetrain, the part that costs real money to fix and determines whether you're stranded, is identical. So when the premium badge asks thousands more, you'd better know exactly what that money buys. Some of it is real. The Greyhawk's fiberglass roof and upgraded ride package are worth something, but a lot of it is cabinets and decals, and you're paying drivetrain money for decor. Here's the honest part. The step-up trim sometimes includes a feature you actually want, like that better roof material, so check the specific difference rather than assuming it's all fluff. If you confirm the chassis and engine match and you don't need the premium-only features, buy the cheaper badge and keep the difference. If there's one upgrade you genuinely need, pay for that, not the logo. You paid Cadillac money for the same engine in a Chevy. The next mistake is the opposite. It's being scared of a rig that's actually the smart buy. Number 5, fearing the heavier trailer when the weight is real structure. A couple downsizing from a lake house got spooked by a dry weight number. They were looking at a Northwood Arctic Fox 25Y, and next to a lightweight laminated trailer, it looked like an anchor, nearly 6,900 pounds dry. The lighter one towed easier, so they leaned that way. This is why mechanics look at it differently. Light usually means thin. That Arctic Fox weight isn't bloat. It's a welded steel chassis, heavy gauge aluminum framing, high density block foam insulation, real 4-season construction. The weight is the point. A clean used 25Y runs roughly 38 to 48,000, and I've seen tidy examples near 37, and that number only makes sense if you own enough truck to pull it honestly. The lighter trailer plus repairs plus faster resale rot can cost you more than the heavy one that holds together and holds value. But here's the flat drawback, no apology for it. The 25Y is genuinely too much trailer for a half-ton. That's not a flaw, it's physics. If you've got a 3/4 ton and you camp in real weather, this is your rig. If you're married to a light truck, you won't upgrade. Stop right here, because no floor plan is worth being underpowered and unsafe. Sometimes the heavy one is heavy because somebody actually built it. Before the last 4, tell me which scares you more, paying too much today or bleeding money on repairs for 5 years. The next mistake is one people make trying to save money, and it cost them the most in the end. Number 4, buying new gas to avoid used diesel maintenance. A retired couple, the husband ran a Ford stamping plant for decades, came in terrified of one word: diesel. They were about to buy a brand new gas Class A, drawn to the new model smell, the fresh warranty, and the comforting idea that they'd never face a big diesel bill. I stopped him before he signed. This is the reason. The scary sounding used diesel often costs less per year to own than that shiny new gas coach, and it comes down to who already ate the depreciation. A used diesel pusher, like a Tiffin Phaeton built on a Freightliner or Powerglide chassis with a Cummins engine and an Allison transmission, is commercial grade drivetrain that outlives the coach around it. A Phaeton that stickered somewhere near 370 to 4 to 100,000 new shows up used. Well kept, low miles, around 200,000 or less. That's not cheap, but the first owner already took the beating. Meanwhile, that new gas coach hasn't started its depreciation yet, and it's about to lose money the second it leaves the lot. Run it per year over the time you'll own it, and the diesel wins. The drawback is honest and important. Diesel service is genuinely pricier per event, and you need a budget and a truck service shop that'll touch it, so don't pretend it'll be cheap. If you travel real distances and keep records, buy the diesel. If you're a light user who rarely leaves the state, you may never use what you paid for. The diesel already took its beating. The gas coach is about to take yours. But the next mistake is subtler. It's trusting a famous name over a boring one that's built better. Number 3. Chasing the famous brand over the stronger platform. A retired Marine in his early 70s came in with a folder full of one brand's brochures, loyal to a name for no mechanical reason he could actually name. He wanted the badge. Brand reputation, resale reputation, the brochure gloss, all of it pulling him toward a premium price. This is what changes the whole deal. You're often paying for the name, not the build. I pointed him toward a quieter model built on an equal or stronger platform, the kind of coach that gets overlooked precisely because it doesn't shout. The math is simple: a premium for the logo versus equal or better construction for less, which leaves money in your pocket for tires and service. The drawback is real though. The quieter brand can have a smaller dealer network and fewer used units on the market, so parts and service access may be tighter and clean examples harder to find. If you research the platform, the chassis, and the construction instead of the logo, you'll win. If you need a big name dealer footprint on every corner of your route, the famous badge might earn its money. The badge doesn't crawl under the rig, I do. The next mistake is one almost every first-timer makes: skipping the one professional who'd have saved the whole deal. Number 2, skipping the independent pre-purchase inspection. An excited first-time buyer, cash in hand, didn't want to insult the seller by bringing in an inspector. The seller was applying gentle pressure: another buyer's coming, the price is good, you'd better move. And the coach looked clean, so why pause? This is the part you inspect before you fall in love, because emotion signs the paperwork and an inspection saves the money. A good pre-purchase inspection checks the roof and seals, the chassis and brakes, the moisture readings, the propane system, everything a walkthrough skips. A qualified RV inspection, often through an NRVIA certified inspector, runs somewhere in the low hundreds up to around $800 depending on depth. Set that against a 5-figure surprise, a rotted floor, a bad slide, a chassis problem you inherit, and it's the cheapest insurance in the entire purchase. Number 1, buying on the monthly payment instead of the total cost of ownership. A couple who'd worked their whole lives, careful people, sat across from me proud of one thing: they'd gotten the monthly payment down to a number that felt comfortable. The finance desk had done its job. Every question they had, the answer came back as, "That's only X a month." Longer loan term, a discount sticker, an easy payment, and they never once added up what the rig actually costs to own. This is the ugly little math buyers miss, and it's the one that costs the most. Payment is what you're sold. Ownership cost is what you actually pay. So I did it on a notepad. Depreciation plus tires plus service plus repairs divided by the years you'll keep it. That's your real number. Here's the reversal that gets people. They were hesitating over a higher sticker, older, better built used coach because the payment looked scarier and the rig looked less trendy than a shiny new one. But run the per year math, and the expensive coach was cheaper because its depreciation had already happened, its drivetrain was proven, and it wasn't going to hemorrhage value the way the new low payment rig would in its first 3 years. The low payment plus fast depreciation plus repairs is the most expensive RV on the lot. The higher sticker used rig with the beating already absorbed is the cheapest to own. The drawback? The smart buy has a scarier sticker and takes discipline to choose, and a finance desk will fight you on it. If you calculate cost per year, you'll pick right every time. Dealers sell you a payment. Mechanics count what it costs to keep. So look at what actually ran through this list. The trailer with real bones instead of a pretty shell. The one where the moisture meter beat the walkthrough. The rig where the cheaper badge shared the same engine. The heavy one that was heavy because somebody built it. The used diesel where the first owner already ate the depreciation. And the coach that cost less per year precisely because it looked like it should cost more. None of these mistakes are exotic. They're the same 10 over and over, and every one of them is catchable before you sign. Dealers will keep selling what moves fastest. I'll keep telling you what survives. Find me one of these 10 I haven't watched cost somebody their retirement money. I've been under these rigs for years. I can't. Now tell me what you want torn apart next. The tow vehicles that quietly ruin good trailers, the used diesel coaches actually worth buying, or the fifth wheels I wouldn't park in my own driveway. Comment it below, because the worst mistakes always look reasonable on the lot.